Squall reviews a channel for adult collector sand may not be suitable for children under 13 years of age. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to another Squall Reviews. I'm Squall, and today we're going to be looking at DNA Designs DK-30 upgrade set for either Kingdom or Legacy Galvatron. So here's a quick look at the box. Got Galvatron there, all smiles with the matrix around his neck. DK-30 upgrade kit on the back. See more or less what it's coming with. You get a new gun, you get new pieces for his legs, you get a blast effect, a chain for the matrix, a new headpiece with 3 interchangeable faces, new hands, and some peg fillers for his arms. Alright, let's get it cracked open and see how it all looks. Alright guys, so out of the box you get a sheet of instructions. You get a baggie with the little peg fillers, tool, and a couple screws. And you get everything nicely laid out in a plastic tray. Alright. So we'll get Galvatron out, put this stuff on. And of course the only other tool you're going to need besides the actual Galvatron figure is a nice little screwdriver. Alright, let's get started. So, first you're going to want to remove all his accessories. And we're going to get right at the screw on the back of his head. Turn his head around. See there's a single screw in there. We're going to take that apart, separate the head, and then get the next piece ready. Alright, so once you got that screw out of his head, you're going to take the front crown piece off, put that aside. Then you're going to reach in, and you're going to split the head right here on this seam. There we go. And you can leave the back part of the head on because that's where we're going to attach everything. You can see that's the original face. And now you get the new piece, which is this part. And you put that in. Turn this sideways so it'll be easier for me to see. You line that up, put that in, and you re-get the crown piece and slot that in. Just like that. And then of course you put the screw back in on the back. Alright, and with that new headpiece in, you can then take any of the 3 included faces and you could just peg them right in that hole right there. Just line it up. And give it a squeeze on there. And there you go. Excellent. And then to interchange the pieces, I suggest you use this pin punch tool, and you line it up with, let's see, hard to show, but you basically want to push it from underneath the helmet towards the bottom of the face. And just push it out like that. Now I didn't peg it in super tight, so just to show you. Got another piece of face. And you can peg that in just like that. Alright. Next piece. Alright, so next up we got the new fist. And to get these replaced, you're going to first take his old fist. And they're on a mushroom. You're going to want to push them, just kind of like rotate a little bit. Should pop right off. Let's see. Rotate it back and forth as you push up. Should pop off real easy. Then you get the new fist, and they should just pop on the same way. So put them on. Rotate it a little bit back and forth as you push it on. Beautiful. Let's see. There we go. Push as you rotate. There we go. Alright, and with these fists, you have the option now to open his hands. This is so he can hold the matrix. Now what's kind of weird is the trigger finger is on its own hinge, but it's permanently sculpted with like a 90-degree bend on that pin, whereas the other ones, they have a pin that allows you to extend the other 3 fingers. Why they didn't do that for the pointer finger, I have no idea. But that's what they decided to do. Looks weird if you extend those straight out and just have these pointer fingers like that, but you need it for a picture. Hey, you need it for a picture. There we go. Alright, on to the next. Alright, so next you get a little sprue with these little filler pieces. And you just simply kind of twist them back and forth and they'll pop off the sprue. And give it a light twist, back and forth, pops it right off. Alright, now these pieces, so if you have the Legacy Galvatron, more than likely the arms are fixed. Because with Kingdom, they had this shoulder piece on backward. And so you had this exposed screw hole cover. Or not screw, but pin. And that was on the front. People were upset about it. So, this piece, the little circular part, just pegs right in there. Let's see. Yep, just like that. And then, however you want to align that little molded line, you have it up, to the side, however you want to have it. So you just do that. And once again, just line it up, pop it in, and just friction bolts in it. But it's a nice little cover, especially if you wound up with the Kingdom version that had that on the front. You just want to cover it up. Alright, on to the next part. Alright guys, so now we're doing the Lathe extenders. So you turn the figure to the back, and you can go ahead and untransform this section, just to get it out of the way. And you're going to need to undo these two screws on the back of the lathe. So let me loosen those up and then I'll take the thing apart. Alright, we're back. So, once you get those screws taken out, you are going to want to loosen this up. You're going to want to get this piece removed out. Let's see. So, find a way of grabbing this without flicking it across the room. Let's see, try to do this on camera for you guys to see. There we go. Alright, bit tight, but you pull this piece off. That will then allow you to pull this piece off. Put Galvatron down, and what you're trying to do is separate this part here and remove the foot. Alright, put that down. Now, with the foot, you are going to want to grab the new pieces. So you get this piece and this piece. And make sure you're doing the L on the left foot. This piece goes in front. Feed that right into the hole. Maybe a bit of wiggling back and forth. Mess it up. Looks like it went through the first part of the hole, but there it goes. Just have to play with that until you line it up. It's tight. You want to line it up and feed it on. There. Until it's like flush with the face. Then you take this part and you connect it right over the top, like that. Now, for this part, you're going to want this screw, as I now try to find it. You want to use the screws that were included in the bag. So we'll get that screwed in. Alright, so once you get that part screwed on, you're going to then want to reconnect everything the way it was. So you get that front piece right through there. You get this piece, put it back. And it's going to peg, there's a little peg right there, a little peg and line up with that. There we go. You're going to put this back through the leg part of the Galvatron. Like that. Then you're going to get this piece, put that back, right there, squeeze it, make sure everything looks flush, and then you're going to put those screws back in there. And as you can see, that's a significant height increase. We'll turn around. Look. So, yeah. That gives a little bit more sculpted work. Definitely a little taller. So anybody that was complaining that he's too short, well, now you add, oh, a good ½ inch. Alright. I'll get that done. I'll do the same on the other one. Alright, and there we go. So, as you can see, it really doesn't change anything with transformation, because the only additional height is right here. So, this still fits in that section, and this piece still wraps around and reconnects in its port. And because that piece is there, it doesn't leave anything hollow. This piece just doesn't go in there as far, but it still fills out pretty good. And it is a height increase. And now you got dual hinges here at the ankles. So depending on, where you want to bend his foot, you can do it at the foot or a little further up. And you can get support like that. Alright. Next two pieces are pretty easy, and really don't need no real instructions. I mean, you get his gun, and you can just peg that right into his hand. Now his hand, the new one, does have a little half circle right in there, and that's what you peg into. So, just like that, wrap his fingers around. You have his trigger finger a little bit forward so that it looks like he's getting ready to pull the trigger. There we go. That looks pretty good. It's pretty maniacal. Now, let's see. Put on his arm cannon again. And remove the matrix from the old chain. Hopefully if it's not stuck. There we go. And you can get the new chain. And let's see. Put that in. Put that there. There we go. Alright. Got the matrix on a chain. Now the instructions do say when you put it around his neck, you're just going to hang it over his neck. It suggests putting the loop of the chain back behind this back piece. That way it sits a little bit more up. But if you want to recreate the scene where he's trying to open the matrix, then you put it behind his neck. It will sit lower, but let's see. You can get his fingers open. Maybe it could just look like the trigger finger right in there. And his other hand. Well, can be done. Let me see. Let me get this guy off camera. See if I can reposition. Alright, and there you go. Was messing around, you can get him a hold of that. I guess that's why the trigger fingers are kind of bent and the other fingers can spread out. Makes it a little easier to hook around the matrix. And so, you can do that one. And finally, you just have this plastic which is pretty nice. It's red, wears out but comes to a sharp point. And that can go in either the tip of the gun that it comes with, or in the tip of the cannon. There we go. Alright, so we'll do some size comparisons with the kit, and we'll do some alt mode, see how that affects things. Alright, and here we have Galvatron in alt mode, and this is pretty much the way Hasbro has it. I mean, the head doesn't affect transformation. The hands don't affect transformation. And the little leg extension pieces only add a little bit more right here. And you could hinge it if you'd rather do it that way. But honestly, I've never really had a problem with angling Galvatron's fusion cannon mode, even before. So to me, it really doesn't make any difference. But so that you see, there was no problems getting the head in. It fits in just as well as it did before. And yeah, the hands went in just fine. So, of course, with the added pieces, you can now take the matrix and you can put that all the way around the full cannon. And if you want to peg it in, you can peg it in. If you want to just have it loose, get the blast effect, put that in the end, and they did have a way for you to work in the gun. So the way you work that in is you take this piece off, and you take this piece and you reposition it. Well, now everything's going to fall. To reposition that forward, alright, and you get these pieces, and you open that up, and that gives you enough room to store the gun. And you peg that in pretty much as far down as it goes, line it up kind of straight. And the gun has a port on this side and a tab right there, which you then work these in as close as you can get them and sandwich right on that gun, just like that. And if you still want to store this piece, what they then suggest is you remove the cannon, put it back on here, like for robot mode, and you put the whole thing right in there. Now you got that going on. And it looks pretty cool. It still retains the Galvatron look. And of course you can always just put all this stuff off to the side if you want. But yeah, it doesn't change up the ultimate too much to be distracting. But it is pretty nice that you get some options for at least keeping everything together if you have it in ultimate. Alright, so since this set is technically going to change the height of Galvatron, here's a look before with Scourge and Cyclonus. Alright, and here's a look at him after the kit is installed next to Cyclonus and Scourge. You can see he is a little bit taller. I think before the kit he was more or less up to Cyclonus' head. Now he's at least a little bit taller. I think Cyclonus' top of the head comes to like his eye level. Scourge just looks short next. He unfortunately always did. Alright. And a look before the upgrade with Ultra Magnus. And after with Ultra Magnus. Now you can see he does come up a little bit higher. It's like Ultra Magnus's eyes are about level with Galvatron's chin. So yeah. Alright guys, so some final thoughts on the DNA Designs upgrade kit for Galvatron. So the cons of it is that I rethought about the leg extensions. I don't think they really add a whole lot to the figure, and they break up the sculpt a lot. I mean, they even seem a little bit smaller than his standard shins. I also don't like how the peg that goes into the foot or into the shins is a little bigger than the hole, so it's really tight to move. I'm just afraid that that's going to cause some cracking or break the toy eventually. Another part of the set that I probably won't use is the chain for the Matrix. I really didn't have a problem with the one that came with the actual Galvatron figure. I can see that this chain is nicer to do the whole beware Unicron, I have that which you fear pose, but I'm probably not going to display my figure with that. So to me it's just going to sit in the box. But the things that I do like, it does well. A blast effect is always nice to have. The interchangeable faces are pretty neat to have. The G1 gun is even nice to have. The tabs that fill in the spot on the back of the shoulders, they can be included or not included, really doesn't make a difference to me. But for those that have the Kingdom version that has those holes on the front, I can see that being necessary. So, if you like what you see, why not head over to your favorite retailer of choice and check it out. Tell them Squall sent you. Alright guys, this has been my review of DNA Designs DK-30 upgrade kit for either Kingdom or Legacy Galvatron. Till next time, be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. We'll see you in the next.
Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but helps my channel grow. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.